we have finally had the short squeeze in the stock market, the melt up in the stock market, the one that we've been predicting over the last couple of weeks, and the one that I've got so much grief on, so much hate about over the last couple of weeks. How dare you say the stock market is going higher when all the hints, all the indicators are telling us that we are retesting the lows and potentially have new lows? How dare you say that? And guys, I've been giving you so many reasons, and I've been arguing the case that everyone is so bearish on the stock market that the pain trade was not to take the stock market lower, but to take the stock market higher. This is exactly what happened last week. We've been discussing that the bulls, they need a reason to take the stock market higher, and the reason came in last week with the CPI data that came in lower than expected. And guys, we've been discussing this all along. I posted this a couple of weeks ago discussing that the last time VIX hit 35 and closed in as a doji, the S&P rallied over 16%. And guys, I've been arguing what if the same will happen again, and this is exactly what we got, guys. When the VIX here, it hit 35, okay, we had a meltdown in the VIX, and we can see here the S&P had a nice rally since that point, guys. And if we are to measure this, we rallied all the way from here, okay, at the end of September, and we have rallied so far over 12%, guys, and there is still some more upside to go. Now, all those people, guys, that were giving me so much grief and saying that we are going to new lows, they have now switched sides and they are now predicting the next bull market. But are they right? Is it the case that we are going to get a new all-time highs in the stock market, or are we potentially going to retest the lows and potentially get new lows in the stock market? Now, guys, this is what we're going to discuss in today's video. As always, guys, if you do enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a like, and if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We do bring out the latest stock market analysis discussing the week ahead every single Monday. Now that the melt-up happened, guys, what will happen next? And there's an argument that and there's also a FOMO that seems to have settled in the stock market, where everyone just thinks that the stock market is now going to new all-time highs. And I just want to argue the case that this may not actually happen. Okay, just want to reiterate first of all that inflation data, it came in at 7.7%, which was slightly lower than what the consensus expected at 8%. However, guys, this doesn't help the situation at all. I mean, it's just one data point, okay? This is simply one data point. We need inflation. The target for inflation is actually 2%. So this, this doesn't mean that the Fed will actually stop raising interest rate or pause anytime soon. If inflation will come down, okay, every single month, okay, will go down by 0.5, 1%, 1 basis point or so, then perhaps the Fed will start thinking about pausing and stop raising interest rates, or perhaps reverting those and start cutting interest rates. But as it stands, okay, that is not the case, and because of that, okay, the stock market cannot rally higher, guys. Remember what the Fed said. He wants financial conditions to tighten. He wants the stock market to drop. He doesn't like financial conditions. He doesn't like the stock market to rally. When the stock market rallies, it actually means that he has to keep raising interest rates. So unless the stock market goes back to lows or have new lows and stays there for a while, okay, then we will not the Fed will not stop. And this is the point that people are not getting it, okay? And for all those people that are predicting the next bull market, be careful, guys. Be careful who you're listening to, and be careful what you do next, okay? Because if you've been on the sidelines, or you've been all cash for the majority of the year, and now you're saying, okay, that's fine, we got a lower than expected CPI print, we're going to all-time highs, let me put all my money all in the stock market. Well, if you buy here and you're all in and you are wrong, then that's the end of you. Okay, so you have to be very careful. And if I can just go back here, guys, same happened in August. Okay, we got a better than expected CPI print. Okay, we got a lower print here, and then the next 2 months was actually higher. Okay, why? Because we rallied so much in August, and that was the mistake. We also had the dollar melting in August, and also that was the mistake, guys. A weaker dollar means high inflation. Okay, a higher dollar means that inflation, okay, they will keep inflation lower. So you need a dollar to be stronger, okay, in the short term at least, to keep inflation down, guys. So there's a lot of factors at play now. If we are to go back here, okay, to the S&P 500, and what are we seeing here, guys? Now, okay, obviously we've had the melt up, okay, and everything is well. Now, what will happen next? Now, what I'm predicting here, I'm looking for the S&P 500 to rally slightly higher. Okay, so this is not the end of it. We can still rally a bit higher to touch and retest this trend line here, and this is where I believe the reverse will happen, and then we are going to perhaps test or have new lows in the stock market. Why am I saying this? First of all, there is options expirations week this week. Okay, third Friday of the month is a very important week, guys. There's a number of calls. The highest amount of calls are at 4,100, and puts there are 3,900. Okay, so if we were to look here, okay, at this trend line here, if we retest the trend line, it will be right just below 4098, just below 4,100. So this would be the perfect point to go short at this point here. Okay, why do we want to go short here? First of all, we have the trend line here. We also have, if we go down to the daily, okay, we got this IC here. Okay, so at that point we will have filled all this IPA, touch coming to this IC here, okay, which is right before the big drop that we've had with which created new lows in the stock market. So this is where the whole manipulation has started from. And also here, guys, we have the upper expected move for the week, and we have the upper expected move for the month of November, guys. So this is the perfect opportunity, the perfect area where you will want to go short at. Okay, so if people will go long here, okay, I feel sorry for them. Okay, obviously, okay, I'm not saying 100% will go lower from that point. I'm saying that this will be a great opportunity to do so. Okay, it may be the case that we rallied through this, okay, and we go to new all-time highs. Now, I don't see that happening, but anything is possible in the stock market. Now, in my opinion, I think if we come here and consolidate, there will be a nice opportunity to go short at. Okay, and I expect the stock market to rally, okay, through the beginning of the week. This is also the case in the VIX. Now, guys, with the VIX here, we have a couple of gaps here to fill. So we open with a gap, and we have two more gaps here at 20 and just below 20 here at 19. Now, guys, options expirations on the VIX, they are going to expire on Wednesday. Now, there's a lot of calls opened, okay, between 20 and 22 in the VIX, which means that the upside of the VIX is limited. Okay, in my opinion, it's limited at least until Wednesday. So until Wednesday, we may see the VIX going lower, and it would be nice if we can fill all those gaps here. And then after the expirations, after all the options expire, then we may see the VIX trying to rally, and at that point, hopefully, the S&P will be around here, around 4,100. Okay, and if that happens, okay, then we have a potential short opportunity, guys. Now, remember one thing here, okay, if we do come up to this trend line, consolidate here, and then break, okay, with a lot of momentum, okay, it just means that there's not a lot of sellers there, and there's a lot of potential buyers that want to take the stock market higher. If that happens, then yes, we may have, okay, a lot more upside at stake. Okay, so watch very carefully this trend line over there. Okay, next I just wanted to point out your attention to US 30 here, guys, which I think is at a critical level here. Now guys, we've been discussing about a break of structure on the weekly here, and one thing that happened here, which is quite funny, look where we closed right below the break of structure. So we haven't actually had a break of structure. We closed literally a couple of points away from having a break of structure on the weekly. What does this tell us? We are still in a downtrend, and unless we see a close above this level, the trend is still down, guys. Okay, so be very, very careful. Now, what are we seeing here from a technical analysis point of view? Well, we are right, okay, we are right in this 8-hour IC here, okay, we are right in this 8-hour IC, and we are consolidating here, guys. Now, in terms of where do we see this go next? Well, there's two things. Either we go down from here and retest this trend line in the short term, or if we are to go higher, then I expect us to go in this 8-hour IC here, and we've got the big IC here, right, the daily IC here. Well, I expect for us to go to and then consolidate and perhaps take a nice long short opportunity at that point, guys. Okay, now at that point we have filled all this IPA here, okay, and there's not a lot of reasons to go higher. Now there's a lot of liquidity that is resting above, so they may want to wick above, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens or not. But overall, I think because we haven't got that break of structure, we are still going lower here, guys. Okay, so we may be at least retesting this trend line, okay, and if not, we may be retesting those lows. Just depends of how we need a catalyst, okay, for the stock market to go down, guys. Just remember that if there's no news, okay, the market will take this as being good news. So we need some potential bad news, okay, that will take the stock market lower, hopefully at the end of the week. Now, what bad news can we get that will take the stock market lower? One thing that I can think of, okay, will be the collapse in crypto, the contagion in crypto from the FTX collapse. Okay, now as we know, the FTX has went into bankruptcy, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now they are putting immense pressure on the industry, on all other big players in the crypto industry. Now, if it leads to more players, okay, going bankrupt either this week or in the coming weeks, okay, that can be a catalyst for the stock market to drop lower, guys. So monitor this, okay. I think this is a big story here, okay, and if they can't save the crypto industry, okay, it can't save the other players, and if the public, okay, starts to question the crypto market and stop investing in it, okay, stop putting their money in it, then they will definitely collapse. Okay, so watch out for this. Okay, I think this is quite big over the next coming weeks, guys. Next, let's go and look at the UK 100, guys, and this is playing perfectly, okay, our story here of break of the narrowing channel, retest here, okay, and then potentially have some new lows in the next coming weeks or so. Now we've just retested, okay, we've retested the narrowing channel here that we broke, and we closed in as a doji here. And if we are to look here on the daily time frame, we are right in this daily IC, and we are consolidating here. So unless we go higher, okay, then the trade will be down at some point, guys. So what you want to do, you want to look for a break of structure here on a smaller time frame for you to go in and short this. If we are going higher, then I do have this 1 hour IC here sitting at around 7,490 or so that I'm looking to perhaps short, and that will bode in well with this trend line here as well. Okay, so monitor this, guys. That will be interesting for the next couple of weeks or so, even this week, if we do get that pullback that we are expecting or so. Next, we've got the DAX, the Germany 40 here, guys, and this is quite crucial here. Now, this has been the strongest out of all of them, okay, out of all the indices. We broke through this downtrend here, we retested, and now we're going higher now. And we've also had our break of structure. So this is bullish from the technical analysis point of view. Now, where are we heading off with this? Now, guys, we've been in a monster run here over the last couple of weeks, which suggests that we need a pullback. We need to have that higher low, okay, at some point in the next coming week or weeks. Where am I expecting to see that pullback? Well, we've cleared the liquidity above here, and now we are heading towards this one-day IC here. Well, I will expect to see some consolidation, and then perhaps we can get a short positions out of that. That is around 14,490 or so, guys. So monitor this, and if you are to look, there's also an 8-hour IC sitting right there. Okay, so there will be a nice opportunity to go short. However, guys, just be very careful. This, especially looking at the 8-hour time frame here, this looks very bullish. There is nothing bearish about this chart. Okay, however, we are start to be getting some divergences that are building here. Okay, start to see some divergences. So if that keeps carrying on, okay, coming into this this daily IC here, then that builds up for the confirmations to go short. Okay, guys, so monitor this. I think we'll have a nice short opportunity, perhaps at some point this week, perhaps towards the end of the week, as those options expire. Okay, next we've got the US 100, and guys, the US 100 here, we finally cleared all the liquidity, and this seems to be now the strongest out of all. Why? Because the tech companies have been beaten out pretty much the whole of the year, and now people are starting to get back into them. Okay, as you know, the crypto the NASDAQ and the crypto market, this seems to be quite interlinked, especially Bitcoin. And as we're getting a bit up in the NASDAQ here, the Bitcoin may rally with it, but we'll discuss that in a couple of minutes when we get to the crypto market. Now, what are we expecting here? And if you look at from a weekly perspective, now the trend is still down, and it's down big. Okay, however, there's a couple of points that I'm looking at. First of all, there's two ICs. There's this IC here, and there's the one above here, okay, at around 13,280 or so. Now, I don't think we will go all the way up to 13,280 now, okay, as it stands, but if there's some good news this week, perhaps that will push up the market here, and that will create that short squeeze that we've seen in the other indices that we haven't seen in the NASDAQ. As it stands, guys, we've just cleared the liquidity, and we've got a couple of ICs, and the one that I'm pretty much looking at is the one here at 12,600. Okay, that the market, the price can go to consolidate, and then perhaps we can get that that short that we are looking for. Okay, as it stands, this also looks very, very bullish. Okay, guys, so be very, very careful with it. Okay, looking from all time frames, this looks very bullish. However, we are creating that, we are starting to see those divergences on higher time frames, and as we are seeing those, okay, be very careful, okay, because the upside is quite limited from what I can see here. Next, we got the DXY, and guys, the DXY has gotten beaten up really, really badly, mainly due to the CPI data, okay, that came in, as I said, lower than expected. Now, all I wanted to point your attention to is the monthly time frame, guys, and we've been discussing in the past videos over the last couple of weeks how we are overextended from the mean reversion, from the 20 EMA here, and I was expecting us to pull back down just to come in to let the moving average catch up here. Okay, and that's exactly what is happening here. Now I'm looking at this monthly IC here, which starts from around 105, 104, 800, 105 or so. Well, I expect the dollar to start to consolidate and then start grinding higher from there. Okay, so this is the only level I'm watching, is the 105 level for the week. If we come in there, consolidate, perhaps the dollar will get a bit up, and the stock market and the VIX, the stock market will go lower, the VIX will go higher. if those all align, then watch very carefully, guys. Okay, we may get a big crush coming just to squeeze out what all the buyers. Okay, so be very careful on that. Okay, gold here, guys. It finally happened. Okay, and I hope you did take advantage of it. We've been talking about this double bottom here that we've had on gold. We cleared above. Okay, and the target on here, guys, will be just above this liquidity zone here, which sits around 18,012 or so. Okay, this is where you should take your profits out if you haven't done so already. Okay, if you're still in this trade, and at that point we need to reanalyze and see where we stand. But as it stands, the trade is up. Okay, and with this, okay, as the dollar gets a bit more pressure at the beginning of the week, I expect I expect gold to get a bid up. Okay, also at the beginning of the week, and then we have to reanalyze and see where we stand after and if we clear this liquidity zone up here. Okay, next, guys, we got GBPUSD, and guys, we've smashed this analysis. Okay, we finally had the bottoming process in here, and we are going towards 120, okay, which is our ultimate level, okay, to short GBP. Now we have some important news in GBP this week, especially on Thursday with the autumn budget, okay, which will make it or break it for the pound. So be very careful and watch out for that. But as it stands, this is bullish here. And as the dollar, as I mentioned, as the dollar gets a bit down towards the beginning of the week, the pound can get a bit up and come into this 120 level. And if it comes here, consolidates, that can be very positive, okay, for us to take a short position and aim and target perhaps previous lows here. So watch this very closely, guys. This is going to be a good one. Lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin. And guys, we've been discussing, and I've mentioned last week how Bitcoin was on a weekly time frame consolidating and in this box zone here, and I was expecting to see either a break up or below this box here. Now we've had the break below due to FTX and FTX going bankrupt. Now what's next? As we've had the break below, guys, and I've been talking about this since I think beginning of July here, and if you don't believe me, go back and watch the videos. Every single video at the end of the video, I talk about Bitcoin. I've been talking about how I'm targeting what 12,500 as the point to go long here on Bitcoin, and it's approaching that, guys. Okay, we're at 16,000.7. okay, we are 4k away from our ultimate target of Bitcoin to go long. So watch this very carefully, guys. It might get there this week, especially if other crypto players fall along with FTX. Okay, be very careful, guys. Lastly, I just wanted to show you guys in terms of this week's economic calendar, guys. Now we don't have a lot of important news. We have some news on Tuesday, okay, with the PPI data, okay, in the US, okay, not market moving, but just something to be aware of. And then on Wednesday, guys, we got the retail sales, okay, also at 1:30 UK time. So watch out for those, guys. There's some important announcements to watch out for. I don't think there will be market moving. I think we need more than just this data for us to crash the stock market. As it stands, just be aware of those for now. That's pretty much it from me this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you are new to trading, or if you like to learn more about the strategies that we use, head over to our website, mcitradingacademy.co.uk, where you can find out more about the courses we offer. And guys, please make sure you join our Discord community. So over to our website, scroll all the way down and join the Discord community for free. We do give out a lot of free trades, a lot of advice on there as well. So please, if you want, join the community. There's a lot of useful content out there. That's it. That's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great trading week.